Oh, hello. I wonder what this could be. So this is what you get in the kit. You get your exhaust silencer, the link pipe, the springs to hold the silencer to the link pipe, a clamp, and a bolt there with a nice machined sort of spacer washer. You get the stickers and the fitting instructions. This is the can itself, and you can see it has a nice machined bracket there rather than using a strap around the can. And you also get the post there for the original heat shield to go back on. I tried to put it on the bathroom scales, but it wouldn't register. So here they are on the kitchen scales, and it is 2.716 kilos, and that's including the clamp, the springs, and the screw. So we'll compare that to the original and see how much weight we've saved. And for those across the pond, that is £5, 15.8 ounces. Right then, before we change the exhaust, we will do some sound testing with the original. So I have two microphones, one on me with the camera and one underneath there to capture the raw sound of the exhaust. So neither of these have sound or noise reduction on at the moment, so you'll just get the pure sound of the exhaust. So what we'll do now is we'll start this one up, and then we'll be able to hear it standard with a cold start with the cold exhaust. As you can see, the original exhaust has a small hole in the bottom to let out any condensation that builds up from the combustion on a cold start. Right, so we've got some tools ready here to get the original exhaust off, and then some tools to put the new exhaust on. So we have two different piles here because they do require two different sets of tools. So to take the original heat shield off, we need a T30 in there. And then to take the original exhaust clamp off, we need a 17mm socket. And then for the clamp here on the exhaust band, we need a T50 on the front and then a 14 on the nut on the back. Let's get the original exhaust off. First of all, we'll remove the heat shield, which we will be putting back on later on. Loosen the original clamp, and then we will loosen the bolt here. As you can see, we still have the luggage rack on, so that's just something that we need to be aware of when we're removing this exhaust, to try not to scratch anything too much. And there we go. There's the original exhaust off, just like that. We'll get this one on the weighing scales, see how much this one weighs, but you can tell it's considerably heavier than the other one. And we'll put this bolt back in there as well, so that we have a true representation of what we're removing against what we're fitting on. And here's the original on the weighing scales, weighing in at 5.660 or 12.7 pound. That's everything including the clamp and the bolt. So that's about 2.9 kilograms heavier than the new Scorpion. We've got to, haven't we? Right. We've got to. We have to start it up with no exhaust silencer on. Wow, wow, woo, wah. That is loud. Right, let's get on with fitting the Scorpion exhaust. So we've got the can, the link pipe, the clamp, and then the bolt and the springs. So first of all, we fit the clamp to the link pipe, making sure that you've got that the right way around. And that just slides on there like this. I'll just fit that loosely so that you can rotate it as required. And that just fits on there, get that nice and all the way home. As you can see there now with no gap. Then we simply slide the new can in here like that. Precision. That fits on there like that, and that is pretty much it in place. We then just need to get everything all aligned up and then tightened up. So first of all, I think we should put this back on, make sure that that's in the right location, and then we can twist this to get these lined up and then tighten that up. And then last but not least, we'll be nipping that up. So we just need to make sure we can still access that clamp bolt at the bottom, like that, which we can. Not sure what torque to do that to, so we won't do it too tight. We don't want to strip the threads. Just got my hand on that bit there rather than all the way at the end, just to give it a bit of a nip. Right, we're going to fit the springs now. I fitted them on the top there. We've made sure the Scorpion logo was facing the right way up. Now you can get spring pullers to pull these and hook them on, just like a little hook. I can't find mine at the moment, so I'm going to resort to using these mole grips. So hopefully I can grip onto that, pull that on, easy peasy. And there we go, there's the two springs on. Last but not least, tighten this top section, which you will need a 6mm Allen key or hex key and a 13mm spanner. Oh. Wouldn't be a Mark install video without me dropping something, would it? If I was being really cynical, I would say that that bolt there isn't quite long enough. That should have two threads at least showing through the top of the nylock, but I'm sure it's not going anywhere. And that's the install complete. Right, what does it sound like? As before, we have two microphones, the one on the back of the bike for the exhaust sound and the one on my camera. And this is the new Scorpion exhaust with the baffle still in. First initial startup and sound check. Right, so in the name of science, obviously, we're going to remove the removable baffle and see what that sounds like. So for this you'll need a 4mm Allen key or a hex key, and then just gently undo this. I don't think you could drop that down in the exhaust, because inside that baffle, I don't know if you can see that, but it's capped at the end. It's just like a pipe with holes in, but we'll see that in a second when we get the thing out. So there's that removed. Oh, that came out nice and easily. And there's the baffle. So as you can see, the baffle stops the flow coming straight out, and it has to divert round through the holes and then out the end there. So now it's time to see what it sounds like without the baffle in. So there you go, that's the installation complete of the Scorpion exhaust on the Voge DS800X Rally. I'm sure you'll agree that that sounds very good with and without the baffles in, and it's very easy to fit. I hope you've enjoyed that and that is of some use to you. If you're considering buying one of these, I would definitely recommend it so far. But next time we'll get out on the bike and see what it sounds like whilst riding at various speeds and see if there's any drone. But for now, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. See you later. Bye bye.